Alright, now this is one you guys probably didn't expect, especially a Diamond Dealo. It's Diamond Warwick, voice check 1. And yeah, even I was surprised. The only reason I actually picked him voice check 2 is because, look, there's a Rengar, there's a Zyra, there's a Renekton, and there's a Kha'Zix, and I'm going to assume the Yordles are tiny midgets. And I've got like an American tourist, Gragas, who's super rich, a safari hunter, Caitlyn, and I guess Jinx is an escaped convict because, Southern Africa. And like all these white people breaking crimes. Anyways, yeah, I decided, let's make it like this fucking zoo or something. So there we go. We have furry little midgets. We have Renekton, who's an alligator. Warwick the wolf, and then an assortment of other animals. I did not pick Warwick to counter anybody or to complement anything. Either way, masteries are 0, 9, 21. Utility Warwick. There you go. And my runes, I believe, were attack speed, red armor, yellow, magic resistance, blue, scaling, and movement speed, quince. So I'm very fast. I'm going up and about the camps and farming. Now, Warwick, he's pretty much bottom of the barrel in a lot of opinions for junglers. Of course, he's still hyper sustained, and his damage is actually a high when it comes to just slugging it out. He's a kind of a dangerous duelist in that kind of way. He'll murder people just by mauling them. Of course, his ganking is just god awful until he reaches level 6. You saw me fail the Renekton thing. So, go in, maul the Kha'Zix a little bit, then steal his white camp. The white camp didn't really fucking help him at all. He's still just a slow-ass motherfucker. His whole purpose right now as a champion is to rush level 6 and then try to kill things. He works good in teams that rely a lot on attack speed. Like if you have like a mid Diana, top lane, I guess Riven, and two bot lane guys who both use attack speed in some way. Maybe like Thresh and who the hell? Caitlyn, I guess. Yeah, that'd be good. Your Warwick pick would be great. Of course, his ultimate is still on a relatively low cooldown. It's a suppression and fucking murders the living hell out of people as long as your teammates can respond to it. But that in itself is another weakness of Warwick. Your ultimate, when you jump on somebody and you start mauling at them, it's not going to kill anybody. It's going to get people killed. So if your teammates don't jump the chance to kill somebody as well as you want them to, then your ultimate's going to be wasted. Anyways, as you can see, I'm surprisingly doing very well. Like, my top lane is a stalemate. They're never going to do shit. However, my ultimate is out of cooldown, so I come in, maul Renekton, and as soon as he flashes, I jump in with my ultimate, and then Renekton is able to pick up the kill. Well, actually, I think I get the kill, yeah. That's the thing that you need to learn with Warwick. Unless you can burst the target down in like 5 seconds flat, or there's other chain CC coming, there's very little reason to actually use your ultimate to start off a gank. Use your ultimate when their chances of escaping have been exhausted, or the abilities to escape has been exhausted. Renekton, he used his escapes, and then I jumped on him and pinned him down so Renekton can come back in and deal more damage. If I had used my ultimate immediately, sure, Rengar would have got to deal some damage on him, but then, Rengar would have got to deal some damage on Renekton, and then Renekton would have just, done everything to get out of the get out after. He did his dash and his flash, and probably we wouldn't have been able to finish him off. And besides, if you force their escape and then you murder them, your gank is 1,000,000 times more effective. And here, again, I used my ultimate as soon as Gragas got in position to, be able to follow up. Of course, we can easily dive Ziggs since his only escapes have already been burned. So that's another use of Warwick's ultimate. Surprise, surprise when you're in a lane. It was only useful because Gragas had to burn his flash and he has built-in mobility already. And he had enough damage to kill the Ziggs. Of course, I mauled his face off afterwards. So again, strategic use of Warwick's ultimate is the best way to make him work. His W in all cases, and honestly, even with champions who don't make the best use of it, is a very fucking good buff. When you use his W, it gives your entire team a massive attack speed steroid that's worth a shitload of gold. It's arguably the most cost-effective or most artificially gold increasing passive, non-ultimate buff to your team. That shit's fucking insane. I believe it's, 40% attack speed to all your teammates at max rank. I think it was that. Or I think 40% to yourself and then 20% to your teammates. I'm not quite sure. It's a lot of free fucking gold. And what's more, we find ourselves as Ziggs, and I use my ultimate immediately to prevent him from trying to use escape. So my teammates can just dump all the damage they have on him. if I try to maul him, he probably would have tried escaping, and then if I had ulted him, he would have been in a position where we wouldn't be able to follow up as safely. There, I lost my smite. I mean, I didn't even smite. I just lost the dragon. Like I said on stream, people were like, "Oh, did you fail your smite?" No, I didn't even press the button. I was like, I completely blanked out on that. I was like, "Oh crap, massive fail derp moment." Either way. As Warwick, I mean, one of the worst things about Warwick is his mana cost. That's been fucking, argued and debated all the time. His W has relatively no mana cost, sure, but the rate you spam it, you kind of do need it. Alright, I ult the Kha'Zix and it was a pretty stupid move, and I knew it. However, surprisingly, I didn't die, and my team got to pick up a kill. I don't think they kill anybody else. Anyways, as I was saying, Warwick's Q mana cost is insane, and then his ultimate is still like 100 mana or something. So it's like you spam your Q, which is your only damage-dealing ability aside from your auto attacks. And by the way, the Gragas is pretty badass right there. He survives with just a little bit of health. Your Q is like 110 mana at like the ranks where you're using it, and then it increases to 120. And your mana pool is barely, impressive. So it's like you don't get to use your abilities that often. So Warwick needs some goddamn love when it comes to his Q, but I'm pretty sure they're afraid of making him strong in the lane again, which at this point isn't really important considering there's a lot of other champions out there that are a lot more annoying than he is. At the very least, they should give Warwick some sort of, mana restoring capabilities, maybe attached to his passive in some way. Either way, I'm trying to push down bottom lane, and then my teammates go into a fight or get jumped. I'm not quite sure, and they die. It's not their fault. I mean, I could have probably been with them, but I was thinking there's nobody in the enemy team who can 1v1 me. I will murder them all. Well, turns out that I'm gonna get to test that out very soon. Once again, dragon comes up, we easily get there. They barely even contest it. We go down to dragon. I go back down to bottom, and I'm gonna be face to face with the alligator. Teach him who's the king of the jungle. Though I don't think there's any wolves in the jungle. I think they're all in the tundras and the forests and the woods. Either way, as you can see, Renekton really can't trade with me. His sustain is nothing compared to mine. However, like, more shit's happening to my teammates, and after a while, I really just lose focus, and I start taking more damage than I should by the tower, and by the fact that I'm ignoring my teammates are fighting right now, and I ignore the fact that, the Kha'Zix can fucking murder me as soon as somebody else gets here. And Renekton and Kha'Zix both double team me and bend me over a thing. But Renekton didn't actually get to deal any damage, but because he arrived, I tried to run, and then Kha'Zix just stabbed me in my spine. So anyways, I joined my team now. I have Sunfire Cape and Wit's End. I'm going to be a big, fat, tanky dude, and I'll just cut people with my on hit. You could actually build Trinity Force on him, and it would actually be good on on Warwick. Anyways, we catch Lulu off guard, and we just jump her immediately and murder her. The bad thing about that is we all kind of burned our ultimates. We burned 3 ultimates. That's really bad. The enemy team engages on us, obviously, because during our Baron attempt. Kha'Zix gets shut down by Caitlyn. You'll see her die right now. I turn on Ziggs as soon as he gets near me, but I get killed by Baron after Ziggs does some good damage to me. Caitlyn and Renekton, and I guess the Zyra finish off the Jinx. The Baron is left to its own devices. We didn't get to touch it. And of course, Renekton, you all know how much of a bitch he is right now. I hate that champion right now. Building pure tankiness and still being an annoying piece of crap. I hate that crap. That combination is terrible. Anyways, Kha'Zix gets caught trying to steal Dragon again and dies. We go to Baron. We easily secure it thanks to the amazing W buff from Warwick that it makes murdering Baron insanely easy. Now, of course, we can easily tank these towers and easily take them out because of my W. And as soon as Ziggs gets in range, I maul him. His cleanse isn't going to help me, or Mikhail's Crucible, or whatever they use them. And he gets pretty much destroyed by Gragas and me. We pretty much wipe out the rest of their team as well. Yay, for dying to Warwick, huh? I make sure to spam my W whenever it's off cooldown, so we can destroy these turrets, and I can give a massive buff to my teammates. You see, these things just melt. I die, unfortunately, but I think I gave the last W buff to my teammates before I bit the dust, so I'm gonna still get assists. As you can see, as Warwick, it's insanely easy to get assists. Press your W, everybody gets a buff. Now you're part of the kill. Now this is just kind of funny. Pew! Zyra dies, and Lulu gets shot in the spine. She gets killed. Little furry ass dead. And of course, as you can see by the timer of the team battle, it's almost done. So you can tell the enemy team is going to, surrender. Warwick surprisingly turned out to be a good pick. It ended up winning the game for us, and hooray for Warwick.